Caught on camera. Everything you need to know about home security systems. With there being a lot of news out lately on the security of apps and who has what information, something also not considered is how many times you may be caught on camera daily. There are plenty of articles stating various numbers, but I think it's safe to say there are a bunch of ways we can be recorded from home security systems while driving by. Systems in and outside of many storefronts, highway cameras for patrolling and security, among many others. All that said, it still doesn't hurt to have a camera system installed in your home for security and monitoring. Before purchasing the first one you find, let me share the ins and outs of how these systems work and see if you prefer one style over the other. There are big differences in quality and features if you are purchasing a camera to be placed inside versus outside. But for starters, the biggest hindrance to all camera systems is installation. Cameras need two major things in order to function properly: power and a data connection. The power is either from a battery or a typical wall outlet, and the data connection can be from a cable or over wireless. First, let's dive into data connections. There are really only two options as mentioned. Wireless is the quickest and easiest to set up, but you may have issues moving forward, especially as you have more and more cameras on your network. These function as another device, just like your phone or tablet, and could cause your entire network to slow. Wireless may also not always be an option based on where your camera is located. However, this may be the best or only option for cameras in locations that are hard to run cables to. For example, the doorbell. Wired connections are typically going to be the best connection available, as they can carry a lot of bandwidth of data over a longer distance and much faster. It also doesn't have any interference and won't have connection issues once up and running. Older camera systems may have used coaxial type connections, but most newer cameras now, at least for home use, offer an Ethernet connection. These are the same types of internet cables you may be familiar with. Next, a bit about power. Cameras typically don't require a lot of power, even at their peak use. Ethernet connections mentioned above come with an extra perk too. They can also carry power. This means that if you have a camera system that uses Ethernet connections, you will only need to run one cable to the cameras. If your cameras are wirelessly connected to your network, they will require power and usually come in the way of a typical 12-volt type of cable with either a proprietary or generic connection. They may also connect via USB on one end. If your wireless cameras can function with an internal battery, it will either require charging or replacement. I've seen these types of cameras last anywhere from 1 to 6 months on one charge. Typically, the apps used to access these cameras will let you know the amount of battery remaining, and they may even alert you when they run low. Battery-powered cameras may also come with an additional feature: solar power. This is a great feature for cameras mounted in locations outside that may be difficult to run power or cables to. And it also provides the added benefit of continual use. These types of cameras typically have a battery internally, and the solar simply charges the battery. Again, the batteries can last multiple days or weeks in many cases, so bad weather won't cause any major issues if there is no direct sunlight for a while. Wireless and solar-powered cameras have allowed the security camera world to bleed over into other areas too. For example, hunters have benefited from trail cameras. A popular niche lately has included bird feeder cameras. Another feature many wireless cameras have brought over includes cellular connections. This helps place a camera literally anywhere that has a cellular connection to send signals back and forth. In the past, typically, only images have been sent over cellular connections, but with the power and connection available now, live streaming video is becoming more popular. Moving on, Where are all of these video recordings stored? That is typically a larger issue, as it can affect the purchase price and subscription cost for these systems. Security video is either stored in the cloud, see Weekly Wheaties number 2350, or locally on a hard drive or server on your network. Storage length and size vary too, along with the price. Many systems that come with 4 or more cameras will also come with an NVR, Network Video Recorder. This is a box that looks like a router, as it has a bunch of Ethernet ports. One of those should connect to your router, but the others are wired to your cameras. It will also state the size of the hard drive, probably 1 or 2 TB, and dictate how long your videos are stored. Most single-purchase cameras will not come with an NVR and will store videos on the camera itself through an SD card or internal storage, or stored in the cloud storage of the camera's brand provider. Usually, live viewing may be free, but watching replays from previous days will require a subscription ranging in price based on the number of cameras and length of storage, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, etc. Camera systems with an NVR typically won't require a monthly subscription, but some do. The biggest difference between these cost-wise can be compared to paying now, or paying later, or monthly. Connecting your cameras or NVR to your router is what gives it access to the internet, ultimately allowing you to see any live feed or recording. There are third-party apps that may connect to a number of cameras and systems, but typically, I suggest using the camera's brand's app. This also inadvertently means purchasing cameras within the same family as best you can. I realize that this has pros and cons. However, you could purchase one brand of camera for outside use and another for inside use. 3 other features to be aware of include night vision, audio, and PTZ. Most cameras come with night vision, but it's still good to verify it is listed. Some outdoor cameras may use a spotlight, but most will use infrared to see at night. A downside here is the video will be in grayscale. Audio and/or microphones installed on cameras allow a way of hearing what's happening in tandem with the video, or the ability to talk back to others in the perimeter of your camera, think doorbell cameras. PTZ, or pan, tilt, zoom, offers controlling your cameras remotely, but are usually 3 to 5 times the cost, and probably not worth it. These are rare in home installations, but I wanted to point this out because if a less expensive camera mentions this, stay away. As far as quality nowadays, you should be purchasing something with 4K. They may be a bit more expensive than something that mentioned 1080 or HD, but the quality is night and day. However, if the camera in question is used for strictly monitoring and not for security, this won't matter. Think, is the vehicle in the driveway? Not, what vehicle is in the driveway? For example, I use an older Wi-Fi only camera to monitor a 3D printer to see if it's still printing or not. In regards to brands, there are too many to list and tons of varying qualities based on price points. Some major name brands I have either used or have experience with include Ring, Reolink, and LaView. On the less expensive monitoring side, consider Wyze, Blink, or Zomoto. What other features do you look for in security cameras? In case you missed it, OpenAI and Grok AIs. OpenAI is in the middle of its 12 days of OpenAI, which has already included a ChatGPT Pro mode, the release of Sora, Canvas to help with coding, projects to organize files and chats, availability in Apple Intelligence, and Santa mode. Their competitor, X, formerly Twitter, has made their AI, Grok, free for all users. Previously, it was only available to premium subscribers. In case you missed it, Google News. Google's AI also had a few updates to their AI. Gemini. There were enhancements to the previous versions of text, image, and audio tools, including inputting and exporting, with additional apps and tools available for their advanced model. As the updates continue, Google asks FTC to break up Microsoft's cloud deal with OpenAI. As AI models have access to more and more information and need more power for processing, Google also announced Willow, their state-of-the-art quantum chip. Forbes contributor Tim Bajarin notes, why Google's quantum computer chip Willow is a game changer. His article notes, it can solve a complex calculation in under 5 minutes, taking the fastest classical supercomputer around 10 septillion years to complete. In case you missed it, YouTube news. Google owns YouTube, the online video streaming service, and YouTube TV, the cord-cutting cable service. Make sure not to confuse the two, as YouTube video streaming also has an ad-free version for $15 a month. However, they announced a YouTube TV price increase of $10 beginning January 2025. In YouTube news, Google has provided an update that will start dubbing videos for some channels in the YouTube Partner Program. This will allow any video uploaded in English to be dubbed in French, German, Hindi, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, and Spanish, or any of those languages to be dubbed in English. The popular show Hot Ones was sold by their parent company BuzzFeed to the host, Sean Evans, and others for $82. $5 million TCL, the company that makes TVs, has recently started uploading videos utilizing AI-generated clips and edits to their TCL TV Plus channel. There are some interesting videos there, but regardless, it's helped draw some traffic to their TCL TV Plus app available on Roku, Fire TV, and iOS. Pick of the Week, Food Picks. While we're in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, hopefully food is still top of mind. While there's a lot of shared about food in the past, who doesn't like to eat great food? Here are some other picks I'd like to share. Here's the 2024 World's 50 Best Restaurants list, How to Eat Crab, according to a seasoned pro, open wide, for the best sandwiches in America. Sommelier, tests. 13. Wine opening gadgets, the one beer you should bring home from every state. Wendy's will experiment with dynamic surge pricing for food in 2025. Featured product. Although not explicitly tech-related, I recently installed a TorqueLift Eco hitch on my car. If you are looking for one for your vehicle, mine came with great instructions for installed fairly quickly without an issue, and appears to be a quality-built product. One extra feature, arguably pretty techy, offered is the stealth hitch. This allows the hitch to be removed and makes the vehicle keep the same ground clearance and look when not in use. It can be added back in less than a minute with the use of a socket. I keep one stored with the hitch for ease of access.